I'm sure y'all don't hear it now because they got put away. But Bruno and Legend will not stop trying to fight with each other. So they just got put in the crate. I'm going to show y'all. They're over there looking like they in timeout. If you have puppies or a dog or like two dogs that are the same gender, I would love your advice on how you like make them get along with each other because they don't seem to be outgrowing the sibling rivalry. And I'm worried that they're going to end up hurting each other by accident playing. And I've told some people about it, and a lot of folks keep saying, well, that's normal. That's how dogs play. Oh, you have boy dogs? Yeah, they play rough. That's okay. But I'd be like, they sometimes act like they can't be in the same room together without fighting over something. Whether it's a toy or I don't know what else it would be. Mainly it'd be toys. And sometimes it'd be like our attention too. Like if I call one, the other one will come and try to get to me before the one that I called. So we try separating them and that helps, but I'm trying to get them to learn how to exist together too because they're not going to always be able to be separated, especially if it's a day like today where I'm here with them by myself and I need to keep my eye on both. Like sometimes it's easy to have them both together. Now, when they're tired, they typically will chill. But Bruno turns 10 months tomorrow, and Legend is 5 months. He turns 6 months later this month. So they are really close in age, but Bruno's like the older dog. So he's a little bit more mature. He has less accidents. He can be trusted by himself a little bit more. But Legend will give you a run for your money every time. So you have to really keep a close eye on him. I feel like I have to keep an eye on him more than I actually had to keep an eye on Legend when he was that age. So it's just very interesting. It's very different. Um, if you're new here, I'm Yosha, and I am a content creator from the Atlanta area. And hey, how are you? No problem. Thanks for stopping by to say hey. I hope you had a good day today. Um, I was just about to say, for those of y'all who don't know me, I'm Yosha. I'm a content creator from the Atlanta area. And on this channel, you can find a lot of different things. I share my life, I review stuff, I give advice. And I became a dog mom in November of last year. And then I got a second dog earlier this year. So they're both puppies. And that's what I was honestly about to live stream and show y'all the dogs like sitting there playing with each other and fighting over this toy. But because they was doing too much, they got put away. So I was just like, well, let me just go live. It's July 2nd. This is my second stream of the month. And this month, I am experimenting with uploading more on my social media. So, with YouTube, I'm going to be doing more live streams and I'm going to be uploading shorts a lot. And I'll also do some long videos too, but I'm going to be doing a lot of shorts and live streaming. Hey, yes, I actually did try getting them the same toy. In fact, I went to PetSmart and bought them the exact same toys, but it doesn't help. And I have this little rope thingy that they use, and they literally will try to take the other one's toy. Even if I give them both the toy at the same time, it's like they like to get on each other's nerves. They literally will take the toy that don't belong to them and try to run with it. And then the next thing you know, they're doing like tug of war. So I remember I did that a few months ago. I think I got them like the same balls, the same um like tug of war rope, which the tug of war rope is the only thing that they didn't break. That's the other thing. I buy them toys and they tear them up, especially Bruno. Bruno usually will tear up a toy within 2 days or less. So I don't know. I just feel like they're trying to determine who's the dominant dog. Right now, I feel like Bruno is the one determining that he's the more dominant dog, but I want them to get along because they have to both live here. So I don't know. We don't have to just talk about my dogs though. We talk about whatever. But I was saying I'm about to start being more consistent on my YouTube. And I am gonna go live this week randomly because I did a poll a few days ago and I asked folks to tell me what day should I go live. And every day that I suggested got a vote, and Friday actually got a vote. I don't know if I should go on the 4th because that's a holiday though, but I could see myself doing Friday night live streams, like wind down Fridays, something like that. We can talk about the week or whatever. We can recap, we can reflect, and then go into our weekend with some good vibes. But I feel like this particular Friday may not be a good Friday only because it's a holiday. And I know people probably going to be looking at fireworks, eating barbecue, enjoying a day off if you get a day off for the 4th. But if y'all gonna actually come through, I might. I'm gonna be in on a trip on that day. So if I do go live, it'll be in a different scenery. Hey Brandy. You sure do. I've been seeing you live your best life. I've been seeing you on your other social medias. And I'm like, I hope you can just take the content you already created and put it over here because it's really good. I'm like, look at my girl. I'm so proud of you. I've been seeing you travel and have your good time, and I'm proud to see that. You deserve it. I've been doing more short trips this year. And so y'all will see some shorts on my channel soon where we went to Nashville, we went to Dallas, and we're doing New Orleans this week. So I don't know if I'm gonna vlog and do like a regular vlog, like a long vlog, or if I'm gonna do mini vlog and a bunch of shorts. Mini vlog and a bunch of shorts is gonna be very easy for me to do because then I can use it as a reel for Facebook and Instagram too. But I haven't done a travel vlog in so long. But I also feel like we're only going to be there for like 2 days. So I don't know if it's going to be as easy to vlog like with my camera versus like capturing quick little 10 to 30-second videos. But I'm excited. For my birthday, I actually caught a really good deal on Delta to go to New Orleans. I've never been before and I've always wanted to go. So when I saw that they had a flight that was pretty cheap for this week, I went and I bought it because, you know, I didn't feel like I was going to catch a trip from Atlanta to New Orleans for under 150. Again, every time I've been checking, even like on Southwest and stuff, it's been like 180, 220, 230. Like 230 is like the new price for everything. It is a quick trip. And it's the same thing with Dallas and with Nashville. Like it was hard to try to even remember to do the shorts, let alone vlog. I'm sorry, I keep yawning, y'all. But I feel like when you go on a short trip, you really got to be intentional about your time because you don't have a lot of time. And I also feel like depending on what time you arrive, like we are arriving after 6 o'clock, so nighttime. When you go somewhere at night, you really need to be vigilant, and it's hard to be vigilant sometimes when you're recording stuff and trying to talk to a camera. You need to be aware of your surroundings, and New Orleans is not a place where you don't want to not be with your head on a swivel, kind of aware of who's around you and what's going on. I also feel like um, what I may do after this trip, this will be my third short trip of the year. I might do more of like a sit down video talking about my advice for planning a short trip, how to find a good flight price, tips to make your travel go smoothly and make the best of it and not use PTO. Like the trip I'm taking, I didn't have to take any time off because our dates ended up overlapping with a holiday. And when I found a flight, I was able to fly into the city after work. So, depending on how it goes, if I like this, I've been kind of doing trial and error. Like, I feel like I'm learning everything or I'm learning new things with each trip I take. So, with Dallas, we flew in on a Saturday afternoon, we left on a Sunday morning. What I learned from that trip is like, I would rather leave earlier in the day and leave later in the afternoon if I'm going to just do one day somewhere. If I'm going to do 2 days, I guess arrival doesn't matter because you get a full 24 hours if you don't leave the next day. And then when we did Nashville, we were there for like a little under 2 days. Like we spent the night in the room 2 nights, but we arrived in the evening after work and we left the following day afternoon. So actually it was we spent the night one night. I'm sorry. I was mixing it up because we went to Nashville twice this year. We went with Josiah earlier this year and then we went again for Juneteenth. And when we went for Juneteenth, we had one night but we left around 5 o'clock. So what I liked about that was even though we didn't get to do a lot the night that we arrived, we had the whole day to do stuff. So like that was like a learning lesson. And then for this one, we're not just doing one day, we're doing two, but we're getting in very late. So New Orleans is kind of like Vegas in that stuff stays open pretty late, bars stay open pretty late. There's casinos so even if you arrive at the evening, you still can do stuff that day when you arrive if you're not tired. But if you don't want to go from the plane after working all day, go on the plane, get there, and start hitting the town, we're gonna be there the whole next day and then leave in the afternoon the following day after that. So it's like we have a full day and a half. So I'm hoping to see how this goes. And if I like it, what I probably would do is come back with a video with advice on how you should plan your short trips, and I think that would be something people are interested in because we want to travel, but we don't want to pay an arm and a leg to go. And sometimes all you need is a weekend in certain places. Like Nashville is forever a vibe. I will go back again and again and again, especially if I can catch a cheap flight under $100 like we did when we went for Juneteenth. So I don't feel like I need 3-4 days in Nashville. I feel the same way about Miami. I've been to Florida so many times. I don't feel like I need more than 2 days there. The Bahamas, I would go on a cruise again to the Bahamas, but I don't feel like I need like, you know, a week in the Bahamas. I've now been to Jamaica twice. I don't think I need more than 3 days in Jamaica. We're going to Cancun again later in the year. We got a really good flight price, and we found the resort because we went to the chain in Jamaica and we liked it. So we're just gonna try this resort in Cancun. It's something new, but we are doing shorter than the first two times that I went. And it's I say that to say I don't mind repeating a destination, but if it's somewhere I'm familiar with, I don't feel like I need more than 2 days. And I'm looking forward to it. So y'all stay tuned. I'll be posting on my Instagram reels and my YouTube shorts. I'm looking forward to the food. I've been hearing for years how they have the best food. Earlier this year, Kev on stage was asking his crew where's the best food in the United States. Most of the people said Chicago, but and you just went to Chicago, Brandy. I don't know if you are. If I don't know if you're still on. You are still here. Chicago is on my bucket list because I heard they have the best food in the country. But the second choice that they said was New Orleans. And when I saw that, I was like, okay. I've been wanting to go to New Orleans for years. So I'm very much looking forward to it because we get to go and we don't have to go with kids. I say kids like I have more than one, but I feel like I do because I got a kid and two dogs. And, they a handful. Girl, I've heard. So Chicago is on my bucket list. I really want to visit there before it gets cold. So I'm going to keep a lookout for flights there for another weekend trip because I'd love to go there and New York. Now, if I were to cross out Chicago and New York before the end of the year, I will definitely pat myself on the back and say this was a traveling year for me because I don't really feel like I did much travel last year. But this year, we've been up and about, but really it's all about me looking on these flights, these airlines. I'm a Southwest girly. I love Delta Airlines too, but Southwest been having the sales. And so, want to get away is my favorite thing. I don't even care about checking no bag because I don't stay places for a long time anyway, unless I'm going international. So I was just like, honestly, um, honestly, if I could get a good Chicago flight, I would do it. And then you can, if you didn't stay in an Airbnb and you like the hotel that you stayed at, if you can message me and tell me where you stayed, I would love the recommendation. My husband's been to Chicago before though, so I could probably ask him too. But it's been some years. And you didn't have to stay at a hotel, did you?
No, but I work with somebody who's really from Chicago, so I just asked him.
Okay, well, there's that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. New York. Chicago is beautiful and has so much to do in all seasons. I went in February, which was super cold, and again 2 weeks ago when it was hot. Yeah, it sounds like a place I'd want to go while it was hot. I don't want to go when it's snowing. But you live in a place where y'all get real snow. So there's that. You probably wouldn't mind the cold. But for me, in Georgia, we don't really get snow like that. Like not real snow. We did get snow twice last year in January, which was crazy. But we don't normally get a lot of snow. So going somewhere like New York or Chicago when it's cold and snowing might be a little overwhelming. But I'll go and try some good food. I almost booked a trip to Chicago for my birthday because it was really cheap on Delta, like $120 round trip. But I ended up doing Dallas instead, which was cool. But like I said, I feel like the flight time really ended up making us limited in what we could do because we were arrived afternoon and then Delta delayed our flight. So that ended up, or was, I'm trying to remember, we flew Delta and Southwest for that Dallas trip, but I feel like we rode Delta to get to Dallas and we rode Southwest to get home, or the opposite way around. But either way, it got delayed, and because we arrived like about an hour and a half later than we were supposed to, it threw off everything. I'm supposed to be going to Houston at the end of August. Oh, that's gonna be so much fun. I hear that Houston is a great vibe for as far as food, but also just as far as being around like fun black environments, good food, good music, good vibes. You're gonna have a time. July is gonna be pretty cool though. Like I said, we're going to New Orleans this week, and then I'm going to see Beyonce next week. Dad's birthday is on Monday. Um, what else is going on? Oh, I have some time off at the end of the month, and Josiah starts school at the end of the month. Yes, Josiah starts school in July this year. Isn't that crazy? So I don't know. I'm just gonna try to live my best life and document it. And Southwest has another sale, so I'm gonna look on there and see about Chicago or New York. I wouldn't mind doing another 2-day trip somewhere. I've been wanting to take my dogs to the beach too. So like maybe get a rental car, get a big SUV, load the dogs up and drive somewhere that has a beach. Alabama has beaches. Of course, Florida has beaches. But the one thing I don't like about going to the beach in the summer is that all the housing and the hotels are super expensive because it's peak. Honestly, I feel like it's better to go to the beach off season. Especially if you can go. Yes, girl, July 31st. That's crazy, right? I feel like Georgia just trying to ease their way into year-round school at this point because the summer break got shorter, and I feel like it is happening also because these kids get out of school every 6 weeks for something. They literally get a whole week out of school almost every 6 weeks. Like he starts on the 31st of July, but then he has a day off for Labor Day and then a teacher work day following it. Then October they have a fall break for a week. November they have a Thanksgiving break for a week. December they get out like I think it's the Thursday or Friday prior to the week of Christmas, and they don't come back until like January 5th. So that's almost 3 weeks out of school. Then they get a winter spring break. Well, it's not called spring break, but it's a winter break in February. And then they get another break in April, which is the traditional spring break, which I think follows the same cadence y'all have. And then they get out of school before Memorial Day, the Wednesday before Memorial Day. That's typically the cadence in our area. And it's not like all of Atlanta, it's where we live and outside of Atlanta that does it. But all the students who aren't going back on the 31st are either going back on August 1st or August 4th if you're in public school. Exactly. Like last year, Josiah went back to school on August 1st. And I'm like, they could have did August 1st again this year. And the 31st is a Thursday. Like, would it really have been harmful for them to just start school on the 4th, which was a Monday? I just feel like it's odd starting school on a Thursday anyway. Not to mention they do this open house thing like the Tuesday before they start school. So me, I'm off work that Tuesday through the end of July, and I don't have to go back to work until August the 4th because the weekend falls, right? And so like I can't even plan a trip now for that week because I technically need to be there for the open house so I can meet his teacher and do all the other stuff. So if I were to do a little trip or whatever, it would have to literally be that weekend and I have to be back by Monday evening or Tuesday morning. So I just feel like they interrupted my summer break too. You know, my summer break, my ability to sleep in. Like as a mom, I would have appreciated the extra 3 days. August 13th sounds like common sense to me. Like I remember when I was in school, we used to go back to school around August 13th as well. Usually it would be like the second Monday in August was when school started. And the breaks that they get, we didn't get. Like we might get election day. We did get a Thanksgiving break, but I remember it being that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It wasn't even a full week. And then the Christmas break, that used to be the longest break, and it was like from the 20th through January 3rd or 4th. That was the same. But then after MLK Day, we didn't get a break until April. It wasn't no week off in February and no winter breaks and fall breaks. Like we might have had what we call Indigenous People Day off, but it was called Columbus Day when it went back then, which I understand why we don't call it Columbus Day anymore. But I say that to say we didn't get a week off for the whole week of Columbus week, whatever Indigenous People Day. It was not a fall break. Like you might get that Monday, maybe, and it is a big maybe. Like, and then we did have occasional weather related um days off. Like I remember when I was a little girl, the one time it snowed like it did last year and school was closed for like 3 days. Yeah, like they would prepare us for inclement weather, but also like these kids, they cancel school before the snow even falls because they are so proactive and careful after an incident that happened a few